Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Welcome back to the Moair Podcast. This episode is a little bit different, but I hope you enjoy it because I know I did. It all started whenever I had my wife look up this guy that flies powered parachutes around the Peculiar area so I could get in contact with him. And lucky for me, he has a friend with a two-seater who offered to take me up with him. Welcome to Moair Podcast. Today we have a special guest that's going to take us up flying in 103, and it's a powered parachute. This is Brock Casey.
Hey, everybody.
He's a local guy here in Peculiar, and we just kind of met through Facebook. So this is our first time meeting, and I'm going to let him talk about what he does with the powered parachutes. So go ahead, Brock.
Okay. Well, I've been doing this about 4 years now. I got into it through this guy over here. You'll talk to him in a minute. But, yeah, he took me up. He's been doing it for a long time. It took me up, and I was sold on it. Had to have one. It was during COVID, so nobody was training. Nobody was doing anything. I really wanted to get into it. He pointed me in the right direction, so we ended up doing the Part 103, which you fly by yourself. You have to be under 254 pounds on your machine, and you have to have under 5 gallons of fuel. So this is the Sky Rascal. I've had it for about 3 years. I love it. It runs good. It runs nice. It's smooth. It's got the Rotax 503 on it. I've got a Barnstormer 400 chute or wing that's on it. But what else would you like to know?
So why did you get into this type of flying rather than the traditional type of flying?
I think every little kid has always wanted to fly. I know I did, whether it was jumping off of the house or on the bike, anything, always wanted to fly. I love flying out of the country, around the country, and I didn't ever think it was within reach until we started looking into these. They're pretty affordable, easy to maintain, easy to store. I put it in this little trailer, park it on the lot, and it's good to go. Once you take a ride in it, it's low, it's slow. I think our max speed is probably 35, 40 miles an hour.
That's awesome, yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I get all antsy as soon as the weather starts getting nice, start looking at the flags. I usually call him, start pairing up notes like, hey, what about tonight? Do you think it looks good? So we start exchanging stories and start making out a plan. So kind of like what we did today. The weather looks perfect.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking me out here, kind of introducing me to this side of aviation that I've never seen before. So I think it's going to be a great time, and we'll keep into contact for sure.
Yep.
Is there anything that was surprising to you about these after getting into them that you didn't know before?
I would say watch the weather, watch the wind. The wind will change on you. So don't just look at what the wind is doing now. Look 2 hours away from now. You know, if it's going to be calm now, but in 2 hours you got 50 mile an hour storm coming in, plan that out. Plan it out a little bit better. I've been there, I've done that. It's not fun. But as far as surprises, I mean, we learn something new every day out here. And, you know, get your pulse going, get you off the couch, get you out of the house, get you up in the air.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, sir.
All right.
What's up, guys? Here with Dana Savorelli. He's going to be taking us up today in his, what is this, a Predator?
Predator powered parachute.
Predator powered parachute. This is an LSA category, correct?
Nope. This is a U. This is still an experimental.
Okay.
That way I can work on it. I've got a certificate to work on it. I don't have to take it to a A&P or anything.
That's really cool. So what got you into the powered parachute stuff?
I started skydiving in '82, and they just came out with these about '83. And we went and checked one out, ended up buying one down in Springfield. Messed with it for several years, but the quality was really, really weak. We were flying out of a lawn chair almost, with dual engines, counter-rotating props. It was a pioneer of the sport. Now it's a whole different ball game, and I've kind of been in and out of it as the years went on. And then I got this one built in, I believe it was 2006 or 7, and it's a whole different ball game. You know, the canopy, everything's a whole different ball game now compared to what I started out with. But I got to be on the front side of it and see what it was like.
That's awesome. So you've seen these things grow from basically something that somebody put together in their backyard to something that people actually build in shops and actually make flying machines that are relatively close to airplanes.
Yeah, it was on TV way back when on one of the 6:30 shows, that was always showing all kinds of unique things. And the whole big deal about it at that time was it would fold completely up and unpin and fit in the trunk of a car at that time.
Oh, wow.
Now, it's not like that now, and it's probably better to have more solid, rigid stuff. These things hold up. I mean, these have shocks on them now. That's an aircraft engine. Probably 25 to 30,000 right now. I'm not sure what they're going for. It's a 100-horse engine. It's got dual ignitions, dual plugs, just like an airplane, basically. We're only flying about 30 miles an hour. The parachute is our wing. It lays out behind us, and as we roll forward, it inflates. It jumps around a little bit as the canopy lifts up through the prop blast. It kind of gets crazy, and then the air pressure will load into the front of it and open up all the cells. And at that point, we look it over where we load the canopy, get some pressure on it to where the lines are tight, so we can see where every line goes, make sure everything's good to go before we ever take off the ground. And then once everything's good to go, setting up over our head vertically, not bouncing from side to side, then it's just a matter of give it the gas and wait a couple of seconds. You'll be off the ground in a couple hundred feet.
That's awesome.
Depending on how much weight we got with us, of course.
Right, yeah. So a couple hundred feet takeoff roll, it doesn't sound like much.
That's about it.
That's really cool.
And if you lose an engine on one of these compared to any other types of aircraft, you got a parachute over your head anyway. You're going the same speed with or without the engine in general. The engine's just making you go up. And this one here will climb, probably about 500 feet a minute, maybe 600. I've taken some of the Golden Knights up when they're in town jumping into the stadium, take them up jumping out of it and things like that. So they love it because it's like a hot air balloon. I just shut the engine off and that freaks them out. So they love it, of course.
Yeah, I've always been really intrigued by these things because not only am I an aviation guy, but I'm a motorcycle guy, and I equate these to like riding a motorcycle. You're free, you're out in the wind, and you're just basically at one with the air. Kind of like you're at one with the road on a motorcycle. Is that kind of how you feel about this?
Yeah, I mean, I've had probably at least 40 motorcycles. I was racing crotch rockets when I was 51, so I enjoy motorcycles and running up at Heartland Park and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm an adrenaline junkie just by nature. Nothing crazy. I mean, it's calculated risk. I'm this old for a reason. I work with venomous snakes for a living, and I do cave diving and fly experimental aircraft like these here, and skydive, got over 5,000 skydives and retired from that. There's a time and place for things in life, whatever it is, with age, with health, with whatever it is, there's just a time and place.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just so stoked because I love aviation and everything about it, and I've never actually seen one of these up close, but I've always just watched them there and dreamed of being in one. So I appreciate it.
It's kind of like freedom. We're only doing about 30 miles an hour, hang around 500 feet. We can go up to 11,000 or so if we want to. I've been up there before, but there's not much to see. It's just a scattered, looking like you're in an airplane. It's a checkerboard kind of. When you're around 500 feet, your eyes can still focus pretty good on the details of what's on the ground. And you get to see a lot of things, deer, a lot of wildlife, and just details.
So what is one thing that most people don't know about these things that kind of surprised you when you first got into it? Or your favorite thing about these?
Well, my favorite thing is probably, because I've been under a canopy a lot, was skydiving, and always enjoyed the flight of that. All you hear is the air blowing through the chute and a little bit of noise. Otherwise, you're up there by yourself. It's freedom. You know, it's an interesting thing that we can set up here, and we're lucky enough to be born in the United States, have a decent life, and there's many people that don't have that. We're looking over the whole world up there, you know, miles we can see. It's pretty mentally intimidating sometimes when you think about it. You know, I visit third world countries and many poor places in life, so it kind of humbles you a lot, you know, of what we've got to do in life and where man's come with all the cool stuff we get to do.
Yes, sir.
And so I appreciate all of that. Probably more than anything, if I'm going to fly, I've flown so much. If I don't have anybody to take up, sometimes it's peaceful, set the music, and it's enjoyable. But taking somebody up that wants to go, that's where it's all at.
Awesome.
Even skydiving, you know, jumping out with everybody else, okay. Putting out students and showing them that they can do something that they didn't think they could do and you were a part of it, that's where all my life's at.
That's the rewarding part. Yeah,
oh, yeah,
that's
absolutely.
awesome.
For me, that's just me.
Well,
I think you'll like it. I'd be very surprised if you didn't. I've taken many people up that's never flown, terrified of everything. Sometimes they're white knuckles and hanging on, but I don't think I've ever heard anybody said they didn't like it. And one girl threw up one time, but she had tons of motion sickness, and she's behind me, so it wasn't so bad. But other than that, I don't remember any issue. So I've taken up a lot of people.
Awesome.
You know, and give them the experience. Everybody wants to pay. It's not about that for me. I'm going up anyway. If you want to go up and enjoy, you know, a cool ride and just chill out a little bit, you know, forget about life, push everything aside. And that's part of what it does for me. It gets me away from the everyday job. You're not worried about the kids. You're not worried about work. You know what I mean? You're just kind of chilling out, watching some deer run around, seeing pretty farmland, watching the farmers do what they do, that type of stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
Let's get in the air.
Oh, we can do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you didn't push record. You guys want to do this again?
Once we got up in the air, it was basically like flying in an airplane, except it was an open cockpit, which I've never been in before. This is a pretty cool shot of Brock flying next to us. This part was pretty cool because we were a little bit faster than Brock, so we came around behind him, and then whenever we pulled the throttle back and started diving, we caught up really fast, and it was just pretty cool to see how well maneuverable these things are compared to, you know, what I thought they would be. I was white knuckling my phone the whole time because obviously I'd never been in an open cockpit, and I thought I was going to drop it. This part was pretty crazy to me. I mean, we were barely moving, like 30 miles an hour. We're super low to the ground. You can see every little detail in all the crops below us. Look at that. We're just buzzing the top of the crops. I mean, I've never been that close to the ground before while still flying, especially with not having anything around me. So I tell you what, Dana was a great pilot. He knew everything about this aircraft, and I felt completely safe the entire time. If you keep watching here pretty shortly, you're going to see what a touch and go looks like in a powered parachute. Wasn't really expecting it, so I mean, it was pretty fun, but caught me off guard. Here we go. Come in over the top of these trees. I'm just looking out this side, not even paying attention. We go over this little pond, and he cuts the power out. We start sinking. You fall a lot faster than I thought we were going to. Then we start hovering above the ground here, and I'm thinking, okay, he's going to full power. Nope. And then here we go. Boom. Bounce off the ground. Powers it up, and we're gone. This thing climbs like a, I don't know, maybe a Piper Cub or a Tomahawk or something like that. Climbed pretty good. I was kind of surprised. here we are. We're up a little bit higher. That's basically what you see when you look up. It's just the canopy. And it's cool, but I've just never been underneath a canopy before. I've never skydived or anything like that. Before we get to the part of this where I just play some music and you guys get to see the awesome views that I got to see that day, I did forget to ask them a very important question, which I'm going to ask everybody. It was, if money was no factor and you could buy any aircraft for personal use, what would it be? Well, I forgot, but I did text each one of them and ask them for their answers. Brock decided that he would want a Airwolf powered parachute. They're made by the same company as his Rascal, and he says it's 4 times the machine that he has. Plus, they can be ordered with almost everything a normal aircraft has on board, even night vision. So, Brock, I hope you get an Airwolf one day. I'm not sure how much they cost, but hopefully one day you get your dream aircraft there. Dana's answer was a little bit different than Brock's. I mean, they both picked the same powered parachute that was an Airwolf. Dana says that it's the cream of the crop when it comes to powered parachutes, but he's never seen himself having that kind of money, so he really doesn't think those thoughts. Dana says that he's more of a humanitarian, and he tries to give what little he has back to others who have even less. His goal in life is just to help others. He's seen so many people in poverty that he feels bad and thinks that he should give back even if he doesn't have a whole lot more than they do. And I just know that that's the type of person that Dana is, because he took me up in his aircraft after meeting me for 20 minutes. And he was super nice, super kind. And once we got done, he offered to take me up again sometime. So I know that Dana's a good person and that his answer is true to form. Alright guys, if you're just listening to this and not watching it, you're probably not going to like any more of this. Maybe till the end whenever I talk about landing, which you can fast forward if you want. However, this is a short video. I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe, join the MoAir family, and enjoy the music. Alright, here's Brock coming in for his landing. We're a little bit high and behind him. We're going to circle around to his right here in just a second. Here he comes in for a nice smooth touchdown. There's a little bit of uphill here, but he lands it perfectly right on top of that. Comes to a quick stop here in about 3 seconds, and then you're just going to watch his airfoil lose all of its lift and fall down behind him as we go by. That's pretty cool. I don't know anything else that does that. And then once he's done, he just packs it up, hangs it on the side of the machine, and drives it back into the trailer. Here we go with our landing. I didn't know if we were going to case it on this hill or not, but Dana's a great pilot, makes a nice smooth landing right on top of that, and then stops right next to the truck so we don't have to go very far. And then you get to see the airfoil drop, and that's the end, guys. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the MoAir Podcast. As always, if you'd like to be featured in an episode of the podcast, just reach out to me at moairsales.com or moairsales@gmail.com. Please follow along and grow with me, and as always, success starts with a positive attitude.